Alright, so moving on to Nuova Shenron. So, spoiler alert, I haven't actually seen his kit yet, but based off of the information that we received yesterday from the live stream, the Reveal and Stuff live stream, based off of just that, I like this guy the best. Obviously, that's going to change probably just because now we have access to the full information here, but from the information that they gave us, this guy looks ridiculous to me. And I'm going to be comparing him once again to Android 17 just because he's the newest melee type unit. He's also yellow, so is Nova. And the main question I want to tackle is this guy going to replace LF Super Saiyan 4 Goku on GT? My answer is probably going to be yes, but we'll see. So in terms of the offensive stats here, 249 versus 253, so 17 is higher strike attack. 235 blast versus 227, so he also has higher blast attack. But defenses, it looks like Nova has higher defenses than 17, so a little bit lower offensive stats, but higher defenses, so I guess technically he's more balanced, but stats are not bad at all. Definitely a lot smaller of a kit, like not as long, right, of a kit as we've seen with like everything we reviewed tonight. So his main ability is Face Off. Inflicts all allies and enemies with no switching for 10 counts. Destroys all of your own and enemies' cards. 20% of damage inflicted for 20 counts, gets 100% Vanish Engage back, and gets card draw speed. Is that good? What do you think? You think that's a good main ability? I want to point this out too. I mentioned this yesterday in my video. So what you can do with Ice Shenron, I'm going to just cheat a little bit. I haven't looked at Ice Shenron's kit at all, but Ice Shenron has this effect in his main ability. He also has shortens allies GT subs count by 5. So what you can do with Ice Shenron is you can pop this, change the enemy's Vanishing Gauge to 0%, immediately jump into Nuova Shenron, get rid of their ability to switch out, and destroy all their cards, and then you just rush them. And they actually can't do anything. The only way they can possibly counter that is if they rush you back, and then you just clash. You could also try just attacking them with a card first, then rushing them, but this is such a toxic combination right here. This, in combination with this. It's those two things together that make this so stupid. The only counterplay is, I mean, I guess if you use this and then they like immediately, instantaneously switch, because what I envision happening is you're going to go into Ice Shenron, you're going to pop this, and then like within the same timer count, you're going to switch into Nova and pop his main, and they're screwed. As long as you have a Rising Rush, you pretty much just kill them instantly. It's a guaranteed kill almost, as long as they don't guess you. But that's going to be a very annoying combo, I think. So yeah, this is even if you don't want to do that combo, this main ability by itself is still ridiculously powerful. Look at this. He gets Vanishing Gauge, he gets damage, he gets card draw speed, locking, like, okay. I think you want to pop this when you vanish the enemy and start a combo on them, because you get your vanish back and you get card draw speed, so it's like, alright. It's crazy. This main ability is ridiculous. So his first unique ability is I couldn't agree more. Applies the following effects to self when this character enters the battlefield. 70% of damage inflicted and then 25% reduces damage received. It's pretty standard. Applies additional 10% of strike damage inflicted per Dragon Ball. So very similar to the Red Omega Shenron's ability. I believe he has like a similar thing to that. Site might be not loading right now, so I'll check back on that in a second. But so that's up to an additional 70% strike attack. So he can be at this guy can literally enter the battlefield with 140% strike attack. Also applies the following effects if a tag GT other than this character is a battle member. Guess what? That's always going to happen because he's only on the GT team. You're not going to ever have this guy on a different team unless you're running like yellow, blue, or something like that. He gets 50% key recovery, which is really good with card draw speed. And then he gets 30% of Vanishing Gauge recovery for 15 counts, which is something that you don't really see that often on units, which is Vanishing Gauge recovery. He also has a second unique ability, Combat Discipline. Applies the following effects to self according to the number of timer counts elapsed with current character. He gets an extra 20% damage after 3 counts. 5 counts gives him more card draw speed, so we can get 2 times card draw speed with his main ability. And then 8 counts elapsed gives him an extra 50 key, which is basically like UI Goku's ability, where after a certain number of timer counts have elapsed, he gets an extra amount of key. Effect resets after characters switch. So this is a very, very good unique ability here. But he's getting a ton of damage. I mean, so assuming this is the max, he's getting 70%, extra 20% from here. He can be at 160% strike attack. Actually, he can be at 180 with his main. Sorry, 180% strike. Is that good? The blue card is Burst Attack. It deals massive explode damage, applies the following effects: self-bind activation, 25% to special move damage inflicted 5 timer counts, and then cancels abnormal conditions. Very powerful. This is not loading, so we'll just close this out. Special skill is the Barrier, so it's very similar, at least from what I've seen in the preview, to Buhan's Barrier, the green Buhan. Applies enemy nullifies enemy attacks, excluding certain moves like Rising Rush. The following effects occur if attacks are nullified. Knocks enemy back to long range. If they are at close range, gets 30 key back, and then he gets 30% more strike damage. Yeah, that's what he needed, more strike damage. And then you can combo that with Strike Blast and special move cards. He doesn't have an ultimate, which is the one thing that I think is going to hold him back a little bit, right? Just the lack of having an ultimate attack. He has 10% damage inflicted for 10 counts with the strike card and then a blast card. He buffs GT and Shadow Dragons, so it's 35% of GT strike attack and defense, and then 18% to Shadow Dragon space blast defense. So just a little bit of extra stats for him, as well as Ice and Omega if you want to run them together. But I'm telling you right now, this guy is already being underrated. He looks ridiculously powerful to me. I think he. I'm not gonna say what I think about where he'll be placed right now, because I don't know. I have to use him first, obviously. But this is one of the more impressive kits that I've seen. So in terms of his teams, again, he's only on the GT team, so there's not really much to go off of here. I think just based off of what I'm seeing with everything he's able to do, again, he's competing with the Super Saiyan 4 Goku here for a slot on the GT team. Even with this Goku, I can't even pull it up, it's lagging. Even with this Goku at 14 stars, I would be very, very hard pressed to make the argument that this Goku is better than Nuova Shenron. You have to consider everything. I mean, he's Vanishing Gauge recovery, card draw speed, the Vanishing Gauge restoration just passively for existing. This guy's just damn. And then he also has the Barrier too, so his green card's way better than yellow Goku's. It's going to allow you to buy time. It's going to, honestly, without even having the Barrier in your hand, the enemy might be afraid to attack you, because like Bergamo, like the same thing with Bergamo, like when he floats into mid-range, like he's a barrier. You don't want to attack him. So it's the presence that this card has that's going to make your opponent hesitant to attack you. So, I mean, it's just, I don't know, like this isn't loading. But I think I'm pretty confident that this Nuova Shenron is fairly better. Like, not even a little bit better, but like significantly better than the Super Saiyan 4 Goku. So he should easily fit this GT team. I see no issues at all there. Nova, you could even do, I guess, like I was talking about this earlier, like the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta Green, Super 17, and then this Nuova Shenron as a green-green-yellow setup for GT. That seems like it would work pretty well to me. Super 17's the tank, and then Nuova Shenron's able to do a ton of damage, card draw speed all the time with his Barrier, and then Gogeta's just able to do everything. One-man army. So there's Nuova Shenron. Let me know down below what you guys think. Again, not the hypest unit ever. Nuova Shenron for an anniversary is not something I really expected coming into this, but he's here and he's really good. So we'll move on to Ice Shenron next.